Kyrie Irving has been vocal against the NBA restarting and rallying players to voice concerns. And a report this week said Kyrie even proposed the players start their own league rather than play for NBA owners. Kyrie reportedly left the Nets group chat after that came out, and now new reports say Kyrie, quote, feels attacked and scapegoated. So, Shannon, do you have any sympathy for him?
Not really. I believe the conversation should have stayed private, but he did say those things. And my thing is, Skip, how long has he been thinking that blacks should form their own league? Was this in the last 3 weeks, or this is something over the last 3 years? You see how haphazardly something is rushed together. Now, we've seen other teams try to go up against professional teams that's been established, and we see how that ends. So it's hard for me to see a scenario where a guy is making $30 million in the NBA, says, you know what, I want my own league, and for the first 5-6 years, I'm willing to make $200,000 a year. Yep. I don't see that happening. But good luck with that. I think the thing is, and it also goes to show the leadership style of Kyrie, Skip, that people would leak that. I don't know what it is, but the facts are what they are.
Yep.
The Boston Celtics played better once Kyrie got hurt than when he was on the roster. The Boston Celtics played better once Kyrie Irving left than they did when he was on the team.
Yep.
The New York Knicks, the Nets played, the Brooklyn Nets played better once Kyrie injury. That's facts, Skip. I don't really know any way other else around that. People automatically assume, Skip, if you're a great player, that makes you a great leader. And that is the furthest thing from the truth.
Agreed.
Some of the best leaders are not the best players. Now, you would like that to happen. You would like for your best player to be one of your leaders. But that's not always the case. So, for me, I don't believe the information should have been leaked. Don't leak the information. If you think it, just tell him, Kyrie, man, look, I understand that Black Lives Matter. I think this situation is very important for all of us, and it seems to have impacted you like it has a lot of us. But let's stick to the issue at hand. Now is not the time to be thinking about forming your own league.
Yep.
Now is about time, okay, how can we maximize the pressure on the NBA, play while asking the NBA to invest in our community, to ask their sponsors and us to invest in the communities to end what we see as systemic and institutional racism. How do we do that? That's what let's not focus on starting a league, because, Skip, remember, too many things, just the Christmas list. A child, I want Santa to bring me 50 things, and the parents say, well, wait a minute. What are the 3 or 4 most important things that you want? And let's go from there.
So I want to state up front, I have still huge respect for Kyrie's brain power and his clutch scoring power. He's a gifted young man, both physically and mentally. But to your point, he was not born with that leadership gene that some people have and some don't. He does not have it. And I was with him. I told you my heart's with him because I liked the direction he was headed. He tried to take over the reins of this new coalition. Black Lives Matter right now more than going to Orlando and trying to win a sprint to the finish NBA championship. Let's not do it. Obviously, he looked a little hypocritical because, wait a second, you're not going anyway.
Right.
You're already out.
Right.
You're coming off surgery, and your best friend and your co-star is clearly out coming off Achilles surgery, talking about Kevin Durant.
It's like, Skip, let's not eat at that restaurant. Well, you don't like anything on the menu. So I like what's on the menu. So why? Because you don't.
Okay. And I believe he was trying to challenge LeBron's authority in his preeminent position in this league, regarded as the #1 activist in all of sports. And Kyrie said, watch what I can activate here.
Right.
But he didn't have a plan that he could articulate. And all of a sudden, the quietest Laker comes out of left field, and all of a sudden, Avery Bradley takes over as the voice of the coalition, and he starts making sense to me.
Right.
He was eloquent. He listed
that what he would like to see happen.
I want to see the NBA do more business with black vendors. I want to see the NBA hire more black men in charge of decision making. GMs with real power. There are only 4 right now. Okay, at least that's tangible. You thought it through. You're not saying let's go start another league, which is it's just unrealistic because it's just too complicated. Kyrie has no idea what he's really talking about there. And it's like you're just spilling out your raw anger.
Correct.
That's unhinged and it's directionless. Right?
Mm-hmm.
It's goalless. And it made Kyrie look pretty bad.
Right.
And then Kendrick Perkins piled on. I think it was almost like LeBron had commissioned him to. And that's my 2 cents on this, but it made Kyrie look even worse because Kendrick just condemned him as a bird brain who has become a distraction from for the whole league.
Right.
Because obviously a majority player, they already voted unanimously. Every player rep had already voted, we're going to the bubble in Orlando.
And Kyrie's on there as a player rep, Skip.
He's the vice president. Yeah. Okay.
He's the vice president of one organization, but he's thinking about forming another organization against the organization.
That's what he was doing, what he was trying to do. And yet I gained far more respect for Avery Bradley, whom I never focused on. He's averaged 12 points a game in his career.
Mm-hmm.
He's a really good high school. He's the Gatorade National Player of the Year at that Finley Prep in Las Vegas.
Right.
Then he went to Texas, and he's been pretty good. He's made a couple of all-defensive teams.
Right.
But doesn't say a whole lot until now, and he's saying a whole lot. Mm-hmm. And I love what he's saying, and I respect what he's saying. But the point is, Kyrie has lost too much credibility already. You made the points about, okay, left LeBron, and I applauded that. And he, through a source close to him, I told you, he thought LeBron was too stat conscious at the sacrifice of winning. You know, like it was more about stat stuffing than winning championships for LeBron when Kyrie was the co-star.
Right.
So he says, okay, I want my own team. I'm going to the Celtics, and you know the rest of the story.
Right.
He quickly alienated not just one or two, he alienated the entire team.
Right.
And then he goes to New Jersey, and he starts right in again, and he starts throwing them under the bus. Mm-hmm. They're not good enough. We need more help. Okay, so you're doing it twice, and now we look back at your history and you said the earth is flat, and you said you believe in UFOs, you believe in the Illuminati, and you believe in conspiracy theories concerning the assassination of JFK and the attempted assassination of Bob Marley. Well, after a while, it's like, Kyrie, you're just too out there, man. You're a little wacky.
Exactly.
Right? And it sounds like you're being wacky again, so you get dismissed.
Right.
Because of your track record, you got dismissed. You haven't built up equity of credibility.
And they leaked this look how bad, look how ridiculous he sounds.
Yep.
That's why they leaked this. If this was a prudent, a plan of what he actually wanted, they would have leaked that, Skip. I mean, if he was talking like Avery, says, I want them to go, and the Commissioner Goodell, and I want some of these prominent owners to go with us to Congress.
Yeah.
And these are things that we want. I want them to invest in our communities. I want, like Avery Bradley says, I want at least 20% of the vendors in these arenas to be black.
Right.
Okay, if he said that, they're not leaking that.
Yeah.
But when you said, let's form our own league to compete against, they're like, nah, bro, you missed me with that one. I'm not finna give up $40 million.
Yeah.
And then how long? So how long do they think they can get a league running? How long is it gonna take them to get a league up and running?
It is.
And where they gonna play?
It's just too complicated.
So you think these owners gonna let you use their arena to compete against them, Skip?
Unless you sort of go with that big three concept of barnstorming, like just take your stars and you go play each other at arenas around the country.
Yeah.
Well, you don't have a championship, really. You don't have records.
Steph Curry makes $40 million. James Harden makes $38. LeBron makes $37 million. You think they're going to give that up to go on a tour? A Harlem Globetrotter-like tour?
Yeah, and do you want the headaches of buying insurance and hiring and firing employees who have to put these... No, you don't.
No, that sounds, Skip, that's what happens. People get upset. Well, I'll just start my own thing.
Yeah.
It's not as easy. If it was just so easy to start a business, there'd be like... And that's why so many fail.
Yeah.
Because they don't really think this thing through.
I agree.
Starting and continuing a business is not easy.
Yep.
Especially something of that magnitude.
Woo. So I do not believe that Kyrie got scapegoated. I just think he got scoffed at and dismissed.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
I mean, it's not scapegoating. No. It's not like it's on you. No, you're just
but you did say that, though.
Get out of my face.
You did say that, though.
Right. No. Okay. So I'm afraid this ship has sailed right past Kyrie.
Yeah. Unfortunately, I believe you're right, Skip.
All right, guys. The Panthers left Cam Newton off their franchise GOAT Twitter poll yesterday.
What?
Interesting. We will discuss next.